Hello my dear students, welcome to CMIS online classes. In today's class, we will continue with chapter 4 of our English grammar, that is non-finite verbs. And in this video, we are going to understand kinds of non-finite verbs as I had already introduced these in our previous video. So I had already told you that there are three kinds of non-finite verbs, and they are: number one, the infinitives. Okay, the infinitive, the participle, and the gerund. So what are infinitives, what are participles, and what are gerunds, that we are going to understand in this video. See here, at first we will understand infinitives. What are infinitives? The infinitive form of a verb is the verb in its basic form, usually preceded by to. So when basic form of the verb, that means V1 form of the verb is used preceded by preposition to. जब V1 form of the verb के आगे हम to यूज करके sentences में यूज करते हैं, and when they are not linked with the number of the subject and the tense, when they do not change, then they are called infinitives. Okay, see here, for example, to go, to come, to see. So we can see here, go is V1, come is V1, see is V1. So we can take any of the verb that should be V1 form of the verb, and that has to be used with to. Okay, so let us understand infinitives with the use of with these examples. Now, she wants to go to Mumbai with her parents. She wants to go to Mumbai with her parents. See here, she wants to go. Here, wants is finite verb, because when we change this subject, it will change its form. But when you see this verb to go is also a verb here, but it will never change. Like if I want to go, if I write I, this verb will change, want, it becomes want here, but to go will remain the same, so it will not change. So it is a non-finite verb. And what kind of non-finite verb? It is infinitive. So infinitives are also used as the subject of the sentence or the object of the sentence. Infinitives can be also used as nouns. Okay, nouns that can be used as subject and object. We know that nouns can be used as subject and object in sentences. Okay, so that means if we use to plus V1 form of the verb as the subject or the object in sentences, then they are called infinitives. Like, to steal is a sin. What is sin? To steal. To steal is a verb here, but being a verb, I have used here still, V1 form of the verb with preposition to. Okay, and it has been, to still has been used as the subject of the sentence here. So it is a non-finite verb. And what kind of non-finite verb? It is an infinitive. Okay, it is a bad manner to lie. What is a bad manner? To lie. So to lie is a verb, but being verb here, though it gives us the sense of verb, it is used as the object of sentence here. Okay, because when we ask what after the verb, then we will get the object of the sentence. So what is a bad manner? To lie. So to lie is object. Okay, so lie is V1 form of the verb. Okay, so I have used here with preposition to, and it has been used as an object here. So it is infinitive, and infinitive is a kind of non-finite verb. Now see here, we hope to win the championship. So here, we hope, if you see, if you change the tense, if you change the subject, number of subject, this verb hope will change, because it is a finite verb. But this to win, it is also a verb, but it will not change. So it is a kind of non-finite verb, infinitive. Understood? We must speak English in school. And I want to tell you that infinitives are also of two kinds. One is two infinitives. When B1 form of the verbs are used with two, they are called two infinitives. And another is bare infinitives. Bare means without, but here what without? Without two. In so many cases we use B1 form of the verb without two, but still they do not change their forms. Okay, so in that case they can be called as bare infinitives. Like here I have used, we must speak English in school. So whenever we use B1 form of the verb without two, it is that these B1 form of the verbs are often used with modal auxiliaries. Like must is a modal auxiliary, so after modal auxiliaries also we use B1 form of the verb. So when B1 form of the verbs are also used with modal auxiliaries, in that case also they are called infinitive, but they are bare infinitive because they are used without preposition to. Now I could not refuse his proposal. So here also I could not refuse. Refuse is B1 form of the verb, but here it has not been used with the preposition to, but with the modal auxiliary could. So it is an example of bare infinitive. Okay, so I hope you have understood the kind of infinitives also. Understood? Infinitives can also be used as the subject and object. That means they can be used as nouns. Now let us understand another kind of non-finite verbs, that is participles. So what are participles? Before understanding participles, we have to understand the kinds of participles also. Participles are of two kinds. Present participle, that is before form of the verb. When we add ing after the basic form of the verb, they become before, and before form of the verbs are called present participle. Okay, and past participle. Past participle means B3 form of the verb. When we add d, ed, n, en, t and etc. after the basic form of the verb, they become B3 form of the verb. Now when we use these present participle form of the verb, that means before, and past participle form of the verb, that is B3, as the subject, as the adjectives, okay, to frame continuous tenses, and also to frame the participle phrase. So when these verbs are used as a part of phrase, they are called participle phrase. Then these verbs are used as participles, that means a kind of non-finite verb. So see how they are used in sentences, how participles are used in sentences. Participles are used as participle phrases. I told you, when these B3 form and before form of the verbs are used as the part of the phrase, then they are called participle phrases. They are used as adjectives, and they also form continuous tense. Not only continuous tense, they also frame perfect tense. Okay, perfect tenses. Okay, so let us take how these participles are used in sentences. Now see here, picking up a piece of bread, the pigeon flew to the roof. Now see here, if you see here, participle before form of the verb is used, picking. Here picking is the before form of the verb pick. So here, picking up a piece of bread. If you see, the main sentence is here, the pigeon flew to the roof. This is the main sentence, but this is also the part of sentence. It is a phrase and it starts with before form of the verb, so it is called participle phrase. Okay, so here picking is used as participle, a kind of non-finite verb. Let us take another example. I fed a starving puppy. I fed a puppy. But what kind of puppy? Starving puppy. So starving is the before form of the verb starve. Okay, starve. So here starving being verb, it is used as an adjective to qualify a noun puppy here. So एक verb होने के नाते ये यहाँ पर एक एडजेक्टिव की तरह यूज हुआ है क्योंकि ये पप्पी को क्वालिफाई करते हैं. ओके, सो इट इज़ a non-finite verb. And what kind of non-finite verb? It is a participle. So now take another example. I saw a shining star at night. I saw a star. But what kind of star? Shining star. Shining is the before form of the verb shine. So this verb shining being a verb, it has been used as an adjective here. So it is a non-finite verb. Which kind of non-finite verb? It is a participle. Okay, now see here. We are preparing dinner for our guest, or we can write guests. See here, preparing. It will this sentence is in continuous tense. Okay, continuous tense, present continuous tense. If you change this sentence into past continuous tense, this verb are will change, but preparing before form of the verb will never change. Okay, like if you change it into past continuous, we were preparing dinner for our guest. So were, are will change into were, but preparing will remain the same. If we write it into future tense also, future continuous, this be verb will change its form because be verb plus before is the continuous form of the together make continuous tenses. Okay, so here preparing is used as participle because it has been used to form continuous tenses. And we can take another example also. If I write he has done his homework. Okay, he has done his homework. If we see the verb done here, it is the B3 form of the verb. So together the sentence is in perfect tense, present perfect tense. If you change this sentence into past perfect tense, he had, this group of have verbs will change, but this main verb will never change. It will used as B3 only. So here in perfect tenses also participle is used, past participle is used to frame perfect tenses. When past participle is used to frame perfect tenses, then this past participle is also a non-finite verb. Okay, I hope you have understood participles also. Now let us understand gerunds. So there may have some confusion regarding gerunds and participles, because in gerunds also we use before form of the verb, be plus ing. But here we have to be very much clear that gerunds, what are gerunds? A gerund is a non-finite verb with an ing ending. But how these gerunds are used in sentences? They are used as nouns. Nouns, that means they are used as either subject or object. When ing form of the verbs are used as either subject or object, they are gerund. But when ing form of the verbs are used as adjectives or to form the continuous tenses or used as the part of phrase, then they are participle. Okay, let us take some examples. Painting is her hobby. What is her hobby? Painting. So here before form of the verb painting is used as subject. So it is gerund. Okay. The travelers are tired of walking. What are the travelers tired of? Walking. So walking has been used as an object here. It is the before form of the verb walk. So it is used as an object. So it is a non-finite verb. And what kind of non-finite verb? It is a gerund. Okay. Now walking is a good exercise. Walking is a good exercise. What is a good exercise? Walking. So walking again here is used as a subject here. Being verb, it has been used as a subject, that means as a noun. So it is a non-finite verb. And what kind of non-finite verb? It is gerund. Okay, now another example. He was praised for his good writing. What was he praised for? His good writing. So writing has been used as a noun here, but as an object. So it is used as gerund, a non-finite verb. What kind of non-finite verb? Gerund. So I hope you have understood each kind of non-finite verbs and hope you are able to identify them in sentences. So whatever doubts are there, we may clear all those doubts in class itself. So for today, this much for today's class. Thank you so much, students.